This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
Mike, it's been kind of cool that there's been bowling on literally all day, every day for this seriously like whole week. But the
best 2 weeks in bowling.
The crazy thing is that not crazy, but since I work during the day and I work in an office and I can't really stream bowling during the day, and then I get home and I have a lot of stuff to do. And then by the time I actually get home and I sit down and actually can turn on the bowling on a normal weeknight, I'm able to watch like the last 2 games or game and a half of like qualifying. The cool thing is about the way they're running it for me is that there's 5 or 6 on a pair. So if it was normally how they usually have like maybe 3, 4 in a pair, I would never have been able to watch because they would have been finished. But since like it's super slow and there's 5 on a pair and it's given a chance like a fan like me that gets home late to watch. Now I know the bowlers aren't probably happy about having 5 on a pair, bowling 10 games a day, waiting long periods of time. But for me, it's been cool to be able to watch at night when I get home.
My watching schedule has gone something like I watch from 12 when the first block comes on East Coast time. I watch from 12 to about sorry, that's wrong. I watch from about 12:30 until about 1:15 when I got to go back and teach again. So I catch that 45 minutes in the middle of the day during that first block. And then when I'm home, the second block is starting at 7 Eastern and going till about 10:30 or so. So, yeah, I haven't stayed up for many of the last games. Like I missed the roll-off between A.J. Johnson and Bloom. What's the guy's name? I forget.
Blumberg,
yeah.
Blumpkin.
So I missed that roll-off because, again, it's just late and I got to be up early. So
that was the best finish, though.
Yeah, there's only been 2 finishes, and yes, that was a roll-off, so that would be the best one.
See, before the roll-off, though, AJ, Blumpkin, whatever his name is, got up in the 10th.
It's Blumberg. It's Blomberg, yeah.
Blomberg. He got up and AJ threw. It was one or the other. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to get it wrong. AJ got up and threw 3 strikes in the 10th, and then Blumberg needed 3 strikes in the 10th, or it was vice versa, actually. It was AJ who finished last. Anyway, long story short, they both threw 3 strikes in the 10th for them to get to the roll-off. So it was a wild finish. And then the roll-off on top of that, Mike, dude.
It was a good match.
Great match. And this lefty, never heard of him. He won the world championship last year. I think he won a gold medal, right? So he was a world champion. Gets up in the 9th, has it pretty much locked, right? Just pretty much has to stay clean, I think, at this point. And dude, he's 6'8", and then it opens the door, flat 7. AJ strikes out and wins. It was an unbelievable finish. I'm glad I'm on West Coast time, Mike. I was able to stay up and watch it, being 3 hours, behind you. So, but amazing finish. I do have a little bit of a beef on how Bowl TV is doing the pairings, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
It's not Bowl TV, it's the PBA. But yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of beefs tonight. I think that might be the theme of the episode tonight.
What's beef?
Beef.
What's beef?
What's beef at AOL.com? Do you remember what that was?
Bill O'Neill's AOL screen
email address. It was his instant messenger name too. Yeah. What's beef 1021
What's
was the
beef?
actual name.
What's
What's
beef?
Beef 1021.
But if
And
anybody
that's
doesn't know what that's from, that's a notorious B.I.G. song.
it is.
So
It
that's
is.
what it
It's
was.
a Big song called "What's Beef." Beef is when you need
Two cats,
two.
two,
What is it? Two
two cats
cats
to
to
go to
start your
sleep.
Jeep to go to sleep. Two. You need two dudes to start your Jeep.
Yeah,
You
beef
know.
is when you roll all hop in the streets. So
Yeah.
I don't know the words, but man, yeah. So anyway, lots of beef.
So we'll get into that later. First, league report.
Oh,
My league report is going to be short and sweet. I was on spring break the previous week, not this week, the week before.
woo, spring
Yeah, so
break.
I had the week off, and spring break for me means housework. It's usually what it means. It means
Oh,
tons
man.
and tons of housework. Like I have so much housework to do, it's ridiculous. And on Wednesday of that week, I pushed it, bro. Like I was going at him all day, hard. Okay, trying to get stuff done, and I mangled my back, bro. I mean, yo, terribly. Like it's still not okay. Okay, it's a week later, it's 7 days later, and it's still not okay. So I'm hoping today was like my best day. It's getting better day by day. I'm hoping there's a tournament tomorrow night, a little King of the Hill, local to me, and they're bowling on Ichinchitsa Kegel challenge pattern, which is like 3-1. So I'm really hoping to go bowl that. But I got to
Why,
be honest, I don't
dude?
know if
Why
I'll be
push
able to.
it, man? Just give yourself a week or two, man. Why you go
Yeah,
bold? You're gonna risk the hurting your back again for a King of the Hill? Come on, man.
I
Like,
know,
just
I
take
hear
a
you.
week
I
setting
just,
up.
I just like, I like to get out there and bowl. There's certain things that are
I
on
know,
my
but
on my calendar of like, hey, I like to hit this, and
it's never gonna
I
get
feel,
better, man.
I feel you though. I feel you. You know, if I'm not feeling close to 100%, I ain't even gonna go and try. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
I jacked myself up something fierce,
so
bro. Like
that
I
was the league
always have
review, huh?
had. Yeah, I have always had like sympathy for people that deal with back issues because I know a lot of people in my life that have back issues, and yeah, they're tough. Back issues are tough because like when your back is not feeling good, nothing feels good. So yeah, I've kind of taken it easy this week, and like I said, I'm not in traction. I can get around. I've been going to work and all that, but yeah, it's definitely like tender and definitely should not be out there trying to throw the rock. So I'm out. I'm out for I was out for this week. Next week's our last week. We're not doing another session. We're not doing a session at Bolero Hazlitt for the summer because mainly because most of the guys that bowl in our Tuesday night thing already have bowling plans for the summer and don't really want to bowl 2 nights during the summer. But another reason is because, like many Bolero centers, they're very stingy with the air conditioning in this place, and it gets extremely hot, and the approaches get extremely tacky and sticky, and it's really just not that great of an environment to be bowling on those kinds of conditions. So I think we're going to sit the summer out. We'll probably get up in August and do some pattern testing and see if we want to switch up any of the patterns for next year. Although this year's people seem pretty happy with the patterns for the most part. But yeah, so that'll be about it. Next week, I'm raffling off the Ocean Vibe that I got from Charlie Tapp. So I appreciate that. I'm raffling that off next week. And yeah, we'll keep it moving towards next September, October when we'll start it back up. I don't know what my bowling plans are for the summer yet. I haven't decided. I mean, I'm definitely going to bowl, but I haven't decided if I'm going to forego league bowling for the summer and hit the training center maybe once or twice a week when I feel like it, when I have some time, and bowl some tournaments, or if I'm going to bowl a league and not hit the training center as much, get my practice in on whatever league night I bowl, and kind of do it that way. So I'm up in the air right now. I want to see what my schedule is like for the summer. So, but yeah, that's about it. I got one more week left. But can I say something? I'm going to end the season at 200. I am. I'm going to end this season at 200. And, I know that to a lot of people that doesn't mean much. 200 is not that high of an average. But when you're bowling on 3 different patterns across a whole season, averaging 200 is not as easy as it sounds. And when I started in this league, my average was so piss poor, it was embarrassing. And for me to get back to a level where I'm averaging 200, yeah, I'm super happy with that. Especially considering that if I made a spare at all, like I'd probably be 210, maybe even 215. So I feel like I've bowled really well, and I want to continue that. I want to keep that going. Nico's asking me if the school year's over. No, in Jersey, Nico, we go deep into June, bro. We go deep into June. Like my school year won't be over until the very last week of June. So, whatever. If I do bowl league during the see, that's one of my factors in bowling league for the summer because if I start a summer league, I got to start it while I'm working, and it's not bad, but it's not the best situation either. So, that's where we're at. Those are my plans. I've had a wonderful league season. I'm glad we were able to keep this going. I appreciate everybody that came out, whether they came out once or came out every week. I greatly appreciate people that came out and helped me kind of keep this little grassroots group going. And I hope going into next year we can grow it a little bit.
Cool. Yeah. Well, glad to hear 200. It is something on a sport league. So that's shouts to you, man. That's decent. I mean, if I bowled a sport league right now, I'd be happy with anything over 200, honestly. So
yeah, if you bowled our league, I think you'd probably be 215. I would say, like that's on the higher end of anybody that bowls the league. So, they're not like the most challenging patterns, but they're definitely present a challenge, especially if you're not doing the right thing. But all right, your league report, Rob, because we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do.
Here's what we all want to know: were the new tables set up yet?
No.
Oh Jesus! Come on, Bolero.
It's Bolero, man. It's gonna take.
Bolero is just shit in the bed. Can I be honest,
dude?
Go ahead.
Bowling league there has been an experience. I have 3 weeks left, 4 weeks left, and now that I moved to the new house, I'm an extra 20 minutes further. So that doesn't really help me, with getting home late for work, whatever it is. So I got 3 to 4 weeks left. Love my team. So happy I bowled. I met so many cool people. Last night we bowled Buttriff's team. Obviously, Buttriff wasn't bowling. They had a sub. 675, right? I'm pretty consistent now between my last 5 weeks has been 675 to 720, throwing that 800, whatever. My league, I think my average right now is 221-ish, which is probably where I would have probably bet where I was going to be anywhere between 220, 225. I when I first started that league, I was around 205 my first 5 or 10 weeks. I was struggling, but we're starting to win again. I think we're a little bit late on making the roll off, and Bolero's is just it's just in that bowling center. It's a matter of what pair you bowl on. Really, what it comes down to. If you go in the teens at Mesa, Bolero Mesa, you're gonna be in it for a really rough night. If you bowl the high end in the 30s, you're probably gonna have a better look. In the low ends and the 1s to 8s is gonna be better. So house tendencies, right? But I'll be happy when the league is over, so that way I could get my Tuesdays back. Can get back in the gym a little bit on Tuesdays, and then my bowling plans for the summer. Y'all gonna have to wait and see. You're gonna have to wait and see. Oh man, I got some stuff cooking, and I'm excited about it. But I'm keeping it very hum right now. Very very quiet, very close to the chest. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next year or so. But yeah, I have some pretty interesting plans of my own personal bowling game. Other than that, yeah, Mike, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of bowling to talk about. World Series.
We're in the midst. We're in the midst of the best week in bowling. Best 2 weeks in bowling, as Jeff Rickles would correct me. But we're in the midst of it right now. So Cheetah qualifying has been completed. 20 games on Cheetah. Scorpion qualifying has been completed. 20 games on Scorpion. By the time we're done this podcast, they'll be close to being done 10 games on Shark. And we'll have 10 games on Shark tomorrow to not only determine the stepladder for the Shark show, but also to determine the top 12 for the World Championship, right? Who will go on next week to bowl 12 games of round-robin match play and then cut to a stepladder for that event as well. So what do you want to talk about, Rob? Where do you want to go first? I mean, there's so much to talk about here.
Yeah, so my first observation so far, excluding today, is EJ Tackett is he's unbelievable right now. I mean, dude, my guy finished second at Cheetah, which is not exactly his strongest pattern. He led Scorpion, and I don't think unless he's really struggling right now on Shark. But I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a run somewhere in the next 12 games that they're bowling, right?
I mean, he's in second overall.
Yeah, unbelievable start for EJ Tackett. Unbelievable year. And to think that he's still not like a shoe-in for player of the year the way he's bowling is just enough. It shows you how good Simonson is having of a year as well.
Well, so it's funny because you think the story is Tackett, and I think the story is Simonson. I think it's still to be determined.
Yeah, but Tackett's already made 2 shows. So, like, excluding today, Tackett's the story, right? Simo didn't make he didn't make
Cheetah show. Okay, all right. So he didn't make the Cheetah show, but what if he makes the Shark show?
Which he's in third right now.
Okay, and then so they'll be 2-2, right? They'll be 2-2.
This is so awesome.
And then we still have to see what happens with the 12 games of match play, because what if they're 1-2 for that? And what if they bowl each other for that title?
Oh
I mean, isn't that what the whole bowling world is going to want?
Yes.
I'm not hating on anybody else. I'm a fan of a lot of people out there, but that's what the whole bowling world wants. Simo, Tackett, final of the World Championship, 72 games, 4 patterns. Okay, let's go. Let's just make that a best of 7. How about that? Let's just make that match a best of 7 and do
amazing.
That.
But that's what bowling needs. But bowling needs them to hate each other a little.
I know. But bowling needs more aggression. It's funny. I'm not gonna say who we were having a chat with today, but you and I were having a chat in text, and I made a comment about how PBA bowlers are all softies, because they're always hugging each other, whether they, oh, bro, congratulations, you just beat me for 50 grand. Like, I'll be, Rob, I don't care. You beat me for 50 grand. I'm going to be a little heated about that, at least for a little bit, So I agree with you there, but I don't agree with you in the sense that Tackett is the full story here. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not saying that a case can't be made, okay? But I definitely feel like Simonson is still the story here, and I mean, I feel like if you're counting him out, you're making a really serious mistake. Last night he used plastic. He drilled a plastic ball, put surface on it, and strategically. Listen, he didn't do this out of frustration. He didn't do this when crying out or something. Okay, he did this strategically in a spot where he needed a big game to keep himself in the show, and he switches to plastic and shoots 230 something.
Yeah, the last 7.
Are you kidding me, bro? Like this is the shit that legends are made of, bro. This is the stuff that 20 years from now, that's a story we'll be telling about Simo.
I was getting into an argument in the Bull TV chat because I made a comment that Simo at 26 is unbelievable what he's doing and what he's done already in his career. I mean, 5 majors, 12 titles, or is it 10 titles? I don't want to get that wrong.
On the number of titles, yeah.
But so someone makes a comment that, oh, well, Pete's done more at his age when Pete was that age. I was like, bro, it's not even close. Pete Weber had 2 majors and 12 titles. I'm gonna look that up right now because I don't want to get a comment from Jeff Riggles in the stream in the YouTube comments about how I got
tomorrow morning on Twitter.
But my argument was I don't care about what Pete Weber's done. Pete Weber's only had done 2 majors when he was 26. Simo's already got 5, and he's gonna probably compete for one of the two majors that's still at the end of this year. Simo could win a 6 major realistically by the end of this season at 26. So it's just crazy. Yeah, Jared is in the chat. He says I think Pete was 11-2, Simo was 12-5. I think that's close. I think Pete was actually maybe 10-2. But depends on what you look. But either way, Simo is off to a way better start than Pete was at that age.
It's just so sick.
Oh, it's
It's so
unbelievable.
sick.
It's amazing what he does.
The thing with the plastic last night was just disgusting. I mean, it is just again, it's the stuff that legends are made of. So we could sit here all night and argue about Tackett over Simonson, right? It's like arguing about two greats in any sport. Take your pick.
Yep.
You can have either guy. So obviously, we're going to be watching that throughout the rest of this competition. Things will slow down a little bit after this shark qualifying is done. They have the USA versus the world, I believe, this weekend. And then the shows start up on Tuesday. Is it Monday or Tuesday that the shows start?
Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
So the shows start on Monday, and then the World Championship show won't be until the end of that week or the following weekend. So still have a little ways to go. We'll come back to that, obviously. I'm sure we'll be live. Will we be live on Sunday, or I don't know. We'll have to discuss that.
So there's a couple other storylines when it comes to the guys who have made the show. We got to talk Buttriff. Buttriff was one of. I brought him up. We're not giving Buttriff his flowers here. I'll be honest. Dude, we're talking about Tackett and Simonson, and he's the guy who's in the lead right now. I know, and I brought him up on Sunday to somebody who normally bowls good at the World Series, right? I mean, look. It is an advantage right now to be a lefty, especially with the lane surface the way they are. The right side is having an absolute miserable time with that lane surface. And the lane surface is, 20 years old. I think I was on Twitter. People were telling me about how those lane surfaces should have been changed, 10 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, you could just tell Simonson's using his plastic and playing up 15, and Buttriff is still on playing 15 on his side with a purple hammer, and Jesper is still playing his pitch black and playing on 15, right? So, yes, this is one of those tournaments when you bowl in a center, when you have all those games, that it is a little bit of an advantage to beat a lefty. But then you also have a lot of right-handers playing on the left side, too, because you're lofting it and all kinds of stuff. But anyway. Buttriff, not taking anything away from him, right? He's having an unbelievable.
Yeah, you are though. I mean, come on, be fair. You are taking away from him a little bit. You're saying that you're implying that the way the lanes are playing is playing to the advantage of the lefties. And I agree with you. I think that's undisputable. If you're watching what's going on out there.
Right.
I mean, look at the standings too. It's somewhat. There's quite a few lefties that have been extremely competitive this week, and that really doesn't tend to be the case on a week to week basis.
They earned it, I think, because they've been having a brutal.
Yeah. I'm not. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that that it's a bad thing that they have it or that they perhaps have the advantage here, but I definitely think that they have the advantage here. I mean, let's talk about that for a second, Rob. It's kind of been a disaster.
In terms
of the patterns and the lane conditions. I mean, I saw comments from Sean Rash online. Okay, I saw him send out a video of guys lofting it halfway down the lane, asking, "Is this what you want to see your favorite PBA players do, or the best players in the world do?" You obviously had Simo using plastic. Okay. And I've watched several vlogs, particularly Brad and Kyle, where they have commented about the way the lanes are playing and just the unpredictability of the lanes pair to pair. And also the fact that guys are having to, play that loft game, that loft halfway down the lane.
So will someone like Rash get fined for a comment like that? Because they're not supposed to say anything about the lane conditions. I know they're really strict, and I know Tom Clark is really strict about finding the players when they comment about the lane conditions.
We could probably find that out. Do I think he deserves to be fined? No.
No,
Do
I
I
mean
think an argument could be made that he's not even talking about the lane conditions? He's talking about the style of play. Okay, so that's different to me. But yeah, Tom Clark, he's heavy on the trigger finger when it comes to that stuff. He's very sensitive about the players, particularly talking about that kind of controversial material. But yeah, listen, it's
Sherman.
noticeable even as a fan, it's very noticeable because you're
It is.
watching what's going on out there. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, Adam Miller writes in the chat. Sherman was complaining about lane equipment breakdowns. Also,
Well,
I
let's
mean,
talk about that. Let's go.
Bolero.
Let's go to the next subject of things that haven't gone too well in this World Series.
No,
And
Patrick, we're
no,
asking
Patrick did get fined. We're asking if he'll
if he
get fined.
if he will get fined.
Okay.
So yeah, what about the lane breakdowns, Mike? What's your
Rob, it's
observation there?
horrible. It's hard. There was a pair that was keeping score by hand. There was a pair that broke down for an amount of time where every pair after them had to get practice shots before they started. That's how long it was. I mean, could you imagine being in the mix of either an individual event or the World Championship? And you're going to your next pair and you're told, oh, you got to wait a half hour, but you're going to get 2 shots on the lane that you're not starting on. Okay. I mean, this is a professional tournament. Like, I expect a company like Bolero to have things ready, have things prepared, have things, working well. And if they're not, have a contingency plan for how they're going to quickly address that. But to have these types of situations at a tournament like this is it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I said, you guys keeping score by hand. I think on their blog, Brad Miller said that there were 6 pairs that were affected by a breakdown, where there were 6 pairs that were kind of jammed up because this one pair had a breakdown.
So now I'm throwing this out here, and I'm going to ask this question because I've never been a bowling proprietor. I've never been a lane mechanic. I've never had any experience in that part of the industry, right? I've worked at a bowling center, but I've never had that personal experience. So here's my question, and I want people in the chat. I know we have a really good fan base that has worked in all sorts of the bowling industry. Is this something that a bowling center couldn't prevent from happening if they were to bring in, let's just say, their mechanics, maybe some people who are in charge of the lane maintenance, and update the machines and run the machines and really do a deep dive into the machines prior to this tournament starting? Is this a preventable, almost like a car, right, Mike? Like, I'll get my car looked at and I'll get an oil change and I'll get, everything looked at before I make a really, long road trip. Okay. And you want to talk about a really long road trip, 2 weeks of bowling, where they're bowling, 10 games a day, 5 on a pair. There is a lot of bowling going on these machines. You would think that they would have done something to that nature. Maybe they did. I don't know, but I'm asking. I'm throwing that question.
I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak from my experience of bowling in a Bolero center myself, and I don't know what other people's experience is like, but here's what my experience is like. It's weeks. Weeks go by. Literal weeks go by where a pair will be hampered by the same exact problem, week after week after week. And you show up week after week and it's the same problem. Whether it's the rack getting jammed, whether it's the balls getting stuck under the ball return, whatever it is, right? But it'll be the same problem repeatedly for weeks. And what does that say to me? That says to me that, one, they don't have enough skilled mechanics that can fix these things in a quick manner. Okay. And it also says to me that they're probably not staying up on the preventative maintenance in terms of their machines and whatnot, right? And it makes sense, Rob, because what's Bolero's main concern?
Cost,
their main concern,
money.
Okay, making money. And where's the bulk? Where's the top dollar of their money coming from? It's
Overhead, people working.
Well, no. I don't mean it's cost. I mean in terms of where revenue, right? It's from the open bowlers and the parties, etc. And like
bar,
yeah, if a lane breaks down for an open bowler, it's no big deal, right?
They drink more.
Move them to any lane. Move them to any lane. Okay, they consider that good customer service. But for the league bowler, it's a lot more frustrating, especially when you're dealing with these problems week after week. So the reason that I present it from that perspective is because the way I would look at this situation based on my experience with Bolero myself is that these problems that are occurring this week in the World Series, I'd almost be willing to bet that these are problems that have been occurring in the center previous to the World Series and just went unaddressed. So I don't know. I don't know enough about Bolero's
I would love to talk
policies
to
of.
someone who bowls a league there at Wauwatosa.
Yeah, true.
If you guys know someone, if you're in the chat, you bowl league there, let us know. Have you guys dealing with the same bullshit that the pros are dealing with right now, or is this just you remember that show Bar Rescue when they do a stress test and they bring in like hundreds of people and the bartenders are running around like crazy? I kind of feel like this is a huge stress test on the bowling center with all the bowling going on right now and the machines that they would have done something preventive to try to stop these lane breakdowns from happening. But it's definitely noticeable. The pros are being vocal about it, and it's not a good look on Bolero. At least
It's
as
not a
a
good
fan.
look for the highest level of the sport. It's
Yeah,
really not a good look for the highest level of the sport either. Like it should be treated with a better way of doing things, a more proactive way of doing things. These things
yeah.
should be worked out before an event like this even starts. But it's kind of crappy to see that some of this stuff seems like it's marring the World Series. I mean, I personally sense a lot of frustration on the part of the players. Okay, I'm not going to run down the things that I've seen this week
Or heard, or got
or
text.
heard, I'm not going to run them all down. But suffice to say that I think there's a lot of unhappiness from the players' perspective.
And
In
unhappiness, what does that come from?
unhappiness with the way things are being run, unhappiness with the lanes and the conditions,
The long
un,
crosses, the 5 on a
that
pair.
that's so much I don't know. I can't. And then again, I'm just speculating here. But I don't know if the crosses would be so much of their issue, especially when they're starting the blocks later in the day. I mean, if you get done bowling at even 11 o'clock at night and you're not starting until 11 o'clock the next morning, you got plenty of time to do anything you need to do, and especially get some rest. So I'm not sure that that's a major part of the issue, but condition of the bowling center, the breakdowns. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Kyle writes, I used to bowl league there, but left 5 years ago because of the same issues. So, Mike, you're on to a good point there, I think.
Mike in the chat too here saying more breakdowns this year than I can ever remember in all my years of bowling. Mike, is that for Wauwatosa, or are you just speaking generally
Boleros.
there? Speaking
Boleros.
Bolero generally there. So last year they had the World Series here, and the general vibe that I got from players that I spoke to was that the place was sort of a dump. And I heard that this year they had made some improvements to the the decor of the bowling alley. But again, very typical Bolero, like improve the decor, improve all the stuff that to the bowlers doesn't matter, but you're bowling on a burnt to toast lane surface and machines that are not working well. Okay. So yeah, I definitely sense a lot of frustration. Listen, when you see guys like Brad and Kyle, who, let's be honest, are like super positive, okay? When you see guys like that saying some of the things that they said in their last blog, you know that there's a level of frustration. Okay, that's pretty clear. Because guys like that aren't even going to go down that road. So if they're not only going down that road, but they're laughing about it to an extent of how goofy it is, okay, that says a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. So we could, bash Bolero for another couple hours, and you know what, I would love to do that, but
No, but it's a shame. I want people to know that I don't take any pleasure in things being this way. Like, I would much rather that Bolero get it together and perhaps hire some people that are versed in bowling and know how to work these things out, and get these things right, because there's bowling centers all across the country that for years have gotten these things right. So the fact that Bolero comes in and takes these places over, and then all of a sudden these problems seem to get worse over time. It's not something that I'm happy about. I mean, they're the majority owner of bowling centers in the United States. The fact is we're going to have to bowl at their center. So I want their centers to be nice. I want their centers to work well. I just don't understand, particularly in this situation where you're dealing with a professional event for the organization that you own. They own this organization. Let's not don't let that get lost in the shuffle. Okay, they own this organization too, and this is the effort you're making for the organization that you own. I mean,
it's just a marketing. It's a marketing.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, I just think that there has to be a level of respect for that outlet, that it should be better.
Mike, Fred Hunt writes, string pins are on the way. Yes, they are. It's going to hit us like a tsunami, but just wait until they actually have to upgrade machines, or actually finally when Bolero's backs up or against the wall, to make improvements to the machines, or completely redo bowling centers. You'll start seeing string pins come in. Trust me. It's going to cut costs for them dramatically. So, okay, Mike, one of my other biggest issues here that I wanted to talk about was how the crosses were being done, and how they could be so much better for the fans' perspective. Okay, I don't really care what the bowlers think, because the PBA is there to engage with the fans and give a good fan experience. It's entertainment, right? You want to have good fan experiences, right? So the pros might complain about this. I don't know why they would. Here's what I would do, okay? Here's what I've noticed. Me watching the last 2 to 3 games of these qualifying, the poor announcers, Mike Flanagan and crew, who are doing an amazing job, I feel. It's like a marathon from them every day, like running this and scores and seeing who's doing what.
Their coverage has been great. I mean, there's the exception of the Bolero internet, because as we've discussed before, and again, not to harp on the Bolero thing, but like every Bolero center is like a black hole of internet. Okay, so it doesn't surprise me.
Quality's been okay though. It's been
all right, but they've had some issues. They've had some issues, especially later in the day on broadcast. And again, I'm not knocking them. I know that they're dealing with the circumstances that they're given. But, again, this is an organization that you own. This is the streaming service for this organization that you own. Like, don't you want to do whatever you can to make sure that it runs well and it's awesome and it's a great product? Or is it just like, oh, yeah, just throw this shit together and whatever works. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's a little frustrating. But,
yeah,
all right, go ahead. I get off.
But here's something that I think the PBA has control over, that can make the fans' experience 1,000 times better, especially if you're going to run a 20-game format like this, right? On this specific format, right? I'm fine with the crosses for the first 10 games for the first day. Why aren't they repairing them for the second day? Why aren't they putting the ranks 1 through 5 on one pair, 6 through 10 on the next pair, and actually put them on the pairs so that when it gets to the position rounds or the last game or two, we have all 5, 10, 15 bowlers front and center with the announcers calling them, right? Instead, you got, I heard Buttriff has got 225 on 61 and 2. Can we get a camera down there? Oh, I heard Simonson is on the front 8 on 1 and 2. Can we get something over there?
And and let me say, I appreciate that.
I
appreciate that coverage. Like,
it's hard as hell for them to do that.
I know, and I greatly appreciate the fact that they're making that kind of effort to keep us informed of everything's going
100%.
on. But with that said, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. With that said, why not just pair them up so that they're bowling on the same pairs? You get to watch the top 10 seeds in the second day all on one pair, and you always have a camera on that pair. All 10 games have one camera following the top, like golf does the same thing, Mike. The top 2 people or 3 people, you watch all 18 holes of them the last Saturday and Sunday of a tournament. Why can't we watch the top 10 seeds every game? And then if you have a front 8 or a front 9, you bring a camera and you do exactly that. Or you have somebody who is maybe in the 20 ranked that's making a run for it. You bring the camera there, right? Why not group them all together? Make it easier for the announcers. Make it great for the fans. I don't understand why the Flanagan has to run around like a chicken without his head trying to catch all the action, and they're doing math, they're doing numbers, they're doing scores, and it's just a huge train wreck.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I agree 100%. I think that, at least for the last game, maybe two, or
Dude,
last block even, the pairing should be rearranged, and it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one pair, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on another pair.
Patrick writes, that's a really good point. A lot of time on Bowl TV, you're watching guys who are in 60th place. I know. That's where the problem is like I
Okay,
got
but
one guy who's in the top 5, and then the rest of them are in like 30th.
right, but you have the choice to bump around, right? You have
You
the
do.
choice to bring up the
But I
different
want to hear the
channels.
commentators, and I want to be on the
I do
chat.
too. I do too, and I agree. And I just think that it would be a better product if they took the efforts to rearrange things for the benefit of the fans.
Yeah, and that's the thing is just like, dude, I don't want to watch someone in 60th place when I have like a Buttriff that's making a run for the cut, right? And then they have to bring a camera, and it's a handheld camera, and they're trying to get it straight, and they're trying to get it moved.
The picture on the handheld camera is awesome, though. I will
Oh yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
it's great. See, the whole experience, Mike, of Bowl TV and the chat is being able to chat with people, listening to the commentators that have a lot of knowledge and experience in the sport, and a lot of guest commentators that are old bowlers and people who know what the hell they're talking about, and you get to watch the bowling. I don't want to sit with no audio and no chat and watch somebody, just bowl. I think that you get a whole better experience.
And listen to bowlers fry out on the open mics. That's my favorite part, is to turn the volume all the way up
Oh
and
yeah.
listen to bowlers fry out on the open mics. Patrick D in the chat says it's a huge reason why bowling isn't popular. Watching a dude go 450 under is boring. Now, Patrick, I hear you, bro, but I got to tell you, I love watching people struggle. I love watching the guys who are struggling, because to me it's like, man, that shows how hard they must be in comparison to the guys that are bowling well. But
Well,
all right,
I
Rob,
mean,
I'm
Mike, you have that.
100% on board with that
Yeah,
idea,
yeah,
though.
yeah. But you have that in your first 10 games of qualifying, right?
Right.
You're not doing that. You're not doing that until the last day. Now, maybe you do the last 5 games and you repair everybody for the last 5 for the fan experience, right? The pros might be a big fan of it, right? Because you're messing up their rhythm, and they got used to their crosses, and they got used to who they're bowling with.
Well,
But some other
it
pros
also
might
has
like
to
that too.
do with what pairs they hit. Right.
Right.
Like if you
Right.
do that, some guys are going to hit certain pairs more than
Pairs are,
others.
and
And
I don't give a
they're
shit.
all very sensitive about,
I don't give
the
a shit.
same pairs and hit them the same number of times.
Yeah, but it
And
comes
I
to the point,
understand all
Mike.
that. But to me, I agree, bro. Like, you're preaching to the choir. It comes down to entertainment. It comes
Fans.
down to what the best entertainment is. Like, ideally, it would be like reseed them or repair them going into the last round of an event like this, and then reseed them and repair them going into the last game, so that you got all the top. If somebody made a run from the middle of the standings all the way up, now they're
Maybe
going to be on those last couple
something,
pairs for that last game.
something.
And it would create more of an air of pressure too,
Oh,
right? Because the guys that you're
great,
bowling against are right around you. You're seeing
dude.
what they're doing.
Yep.
I think you'd get more demonstrative actions from the bowlers, because they'd be able to really easily see where they stand. Okay,
Well,
so
it's like
yeah,
match play, but you're bowling against 4 other guys, right? So like when I bowl the finals, you bowl 5 on a pair, and they take 2 off the top scores, the 2 top scores, right? So essentially, as one bowler, you're actually bowling against 4 people at one time, right? You're throwing a lot of darts, you're holding a lot of nuts, you're jinxing a lot of people to miss shots. But to me, and so you got rid of the match play in this format, right? But if you do that, you're actually now bowling a game, one game of match play against your whole pair and the pair next to you. Okay,
with
please,
no bonus,
yes, and you want to listen to the commentary, and you want to hear what in the chat, what you want to try to get worst of the weeks out of the chat room. I mean, there's a lot of experience there. So anyway, all right, I'm done. I'm done ranting. I just needed to throw that out. I hope someone from the PBA is listening to this, and shit, maybe we can make some more changes without realizing we actually have done it.
All right, can we talk some bets?
I know you love talking bets, so yeah, if you want to go
I
that
love
way, we
talking
can go
bets.
that way.
All right, let's evaluate where I'm at here about halfway through the World
How
Series.
many?
Okay,
How's that Greg Tack bet working for you? How'd that work?
not good. It's not going to win. That's going to be a loser. It's going to be a loser, but that's okay. I support
Sorry,
my
man.
people.
I just want to give you shit, man.
That's all
I
right.
love
I
tell
don't
Greg,
care.
man. All love for Greg. I'm just
You know
giving
what?
shit,
If
man.
you were in the World Series, I'd bet on your ass too, even though you'd have no chance to win it.
I
Okay,
wouldn't.
so
I wouldn't. I'd tell you to just give me the dollar so I could buy a Pepsi or something
yeah,
instead.
true. All right, so here's what I got. I got Chris Prather to win the World Championship for $15. Doesn't look like that's going to be a winner. I mean, unless something drastic changes here in the next couple days, doesn't look like that's going to be a winner. Jason Sterner to win the World Championship. Looks like I'm out on that. PJ Haggerty, Greg Tack, Pascal Winterheimer, Karsten Hansen,
Ooh, L's,
all
L's,
out.
L's,
L's
L's,
everywhere.
L's.
L's
Dude,
everywhere.
Mike's out here making it rain L's. He's just like, woo,
Yeah. Well, hold your opinions there for a
L,
minute because
L,
we're not
L,
done. Kevin Williams win the world championship. That's out. It looks
L,
like it's out.
L.
I got Simonson to win the world championship.
Look out, there you go.
20 to win 140.
Nice.
Okay,
That's a good
20 to
one.
win 140. So that
L.
might be my saving grace right there.
I
Okay.
told you.
I
That's
got
it.
I
You're
got Bill
like,
I got Bill to win the world championship. No,
he's gonna
sorry.
make.
Sorry.
He's
Bill to win the Cheetah championship.
oh
Okay, that's out.
L
Kyle Sherman to win the Cheetah championship.
L.
Out. Tack, Snodgrass, Haggerty, McCune, all to win the Cheetah championship. Out.
Look at me, Mike.
Okay.
L L L L.
Okay. All right. Here's what I did win. Here's what I did win. Um, I won a group bet, a group winner bet. All right. In the Cheetah Championship, I took Sam Cooley
Mm,
as the winner between Cooley, Marshall Kent, Wes Malott, Francois Laveau, and Kyle Sherman.
I like it.
Okay, and Cooley won
That's a
that
good.
group. So
That's a good bet.
that was 20 to win 105.
Wow,
Okay,
like it.
so I'm up by a mile here. I also took uh, Jesper Svensson to win his group in the Buttress Svensson Barrett Troop Vi uh, Scorpion Championship, and I believe that was a winner as well. Uh, So have that too. Okay. Then I had Matt Ogle to win the Scorpion Championship. That's a loser there. And I took a flyer on Joe Grondin to win the Scorpion Championship because he whacked him during the Cheetah. And I thought, well, if he's in that position where he's got that magical look and he's just going to whack them all week, let me try and make some dough on him. I took him for $3 to win the Scorpion for a payout of $1,500. So that, to me, that was an interesting bet. So I'm up. I'm up for the week, no question. And I was free rolling coming into this because I had Simonson to win the Masters. So I'm free rolling on that. I'm up for this week. And I think, pretty much I'm done. I don't think I'm going to place any bets tomorrow. I didn't place any bets today. I don't think I'm going to place any bets tomorrow. And I'm probably done until the shows start on Monday. That'll
Yeah,
probably be the next time I place a bet. I might place a fun bet maybe on one or two of the individual matches in the USA versus the world. But I'm not going to do anything serious there. It's an exhibition event. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to being able to bet on the shows coming up. Rob, do you want to real quick lay out the odds, go over the odds for the Cheetah Championship and the Scorpion Championship step ladders? Because I know they have those posted already.
yeah. And you forgot to mention that you're sitting at 462nd place of the Bull TV bet, and that
I
there was
am.
on
I was
streaming.
getting flamed on Bowl TV today because I'm so low in the standings. But listen, I put my time and thought into making picks for money. That was for fun for a T-shirt. So it is what
Okay,
it is.
so
When it
let
comes
me.
to picking for the cheddar, your boy is locked in right now. Okay,
So
watch
real quick.
Simo win this world championship. All right, that's
Uh,
all I'm
that's
saying.
yeah. That'd be crazy. Winning that many majors today. Okay. Let's talk cheetah. EJ Tackett minus 155. No, I'm sorry. EJ Tackett plus 135. BJ Moore plus 160. Which is weird because BJ Moore is actually number one seed, and EJ Tackett has less odds. Shows you, right? Butcher plus 800. To me, that's the bet to make.
I like
Um,
that. I like that a
that's a
lot.
good bet.
I mean, even though he misses single pin spares on TV like I miss them in league, Buttriff plus 800
That's the bet I'll make.
in the 3 seed.
And a
I
cheetah.
mean, and he's the
2
only
seed.
lefty on the show.
Yeah, I gotta get that now before Bet Rivers.
Oof,
I gotta
man.
get that now before Bet Rivers lowers the odds because I have a feeling that they're listening to this
Actually,
right now.
I'm putting that in right now, bro.
Because they're
I'm
gonna
putting that in
literally,
right now.
dude. I know that they listen.
I'm putting that in for I put that in for $30 to win 270. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in on that.
So,
Cheetah Championship.
Grandin is plus 900 and AJ is plus 1,000.
I got to be
So,
honest. I don't like Grondin or Johnson's chances of winning that show.
No,
they got
it's
to
gonna
go
be
through
Buttriff and Tackett.
lefty who's going to break them down on his own. BJ Moore, who's been on fire and crushing this place all week, and EJ Tackett, who is arguably the best bowler on the planet right now.
Yeah, I just threw 25 on Buttriff at plus 800.
Oh, you know those odds are coming down tomorrow.
We just
If
put
you
the
want
odds
to get on
ourselves.
that, you better get on that now. Because if you think these odds don't change after we have these shows, believe us, they do. Because we're all over it, and they do. All right,
definitely do.
Scorpion Championship. Buttriff
Yeah.
minus 112.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, EJ Tackett plus 250.
Mm,
Santu plus 800.
mm,
Simonson plus 900.
juicy, all juicy.
And Jesper plus 1,000.
That's all juicy. You got to go
like there.
Tackett. Tackett and plus
you like
odds at number
Tackett,
one seed.
250?
Number one seed?
No,
right?
is he 1 or 2? He's 2 there. Buttriff's 1. Isn't Buttriff 1 there?
On Scorpion?
Yeah, Scorpion.
No, Buttriff is 1-1. Yeah, Buttriff is 1.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it mixed up. I was looking at Bad Rivers. Oh, okay. Yeah, but still, like you gotta like Tackett there plus odds.
Really, I kind of like Santu at plus 800, man.
I mean, that's just as good. You could put bets on both. You're fine,
man.
Right?
I'm gonna put that in right now.
I know, me too.
I'm gonna put that in right now. I'm gonna go Santu 20 to win 160, and I'm gonna go Tackett.
He's plus 250. Simo's plus
30,
900.
30 to win 75.
Crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm in on those. All right, I'm locked in for those shows anyway. At least I got my bets done. No. But yeah, listen, man, betting on bowling, bro, it's amazing, amazing. When I had Sam Cooley in that pod bet, and when I had Svensson in that pod bet, all I was doing was checking the standings. All I was doing was checking the standings for that pod bet. You know?
Yeah, I mean that gets you so engaged. I mean, really, like Simo plus 900.
Simo plus 900 is tough,
a
bro.
Good one. I know.
Simo plus 900 is tough.
Yo, a good example of how betting makes everything interesting is the UFC was on this past weekend, and I was home Saturday, tired. I just decided that I was gonna throw money on every fight that came. Dude, you want to talk, man? I'd never been so involved in an undercard in my whole life, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, I was betting on like this fight was going to be by knockout. This one's going to be by decision. You know, this one, I'm betting the underdog there. It's just, it makes it more of exciting. And I'm not betting a lot of money. I'm just throwing enough of that if I win, like I'll be happy. But anyway, betting on bowling, love it. Appreciate Bet Rivers and what you guys are doing. Yeah. So.
Question for you, Rob, as we wrap up our abbreviated, our halfway point coverage of the World Series of Bowling here. What's the more surprising storyline to you here? Okay, at this point in the tournament, World Championship wise,
okay,
is it the uncommon names that we see in the top 12 thus far? Okay, or is it the fact that over this 60 game qualifying, it seems like for the most part, the cream is rising to the top. I mean, here's the top 12 as it stands right now. Buttriff, I would say he's cream rising to the top, yes?
Yes.
Tackett, cream rising to the top, obviously.
Yes.
Santu in third place. I mean, do
Not
you
a
consider him?
surprise, but
Right. Not a surprise, but not cream of the crop either. Okay.
yet, yet.
Simonson, cream of the crop. Chris Vi, cream
Cream
of
of the
the
crop.
crop. Okay.
Belmont.
Belmo, cream of the crop. Svensson, cream of the crop. But then you got BJ Moore, Packy Hanrahan, Sean Maldonado, Nathan Bohr. Okay. Couple surprises in there. I mean, Nathan Bohr, wow. Surprising. BJ Moore, surprising. BJ Moore, part-time, surprising. Packy Hanrahan. I know he won his first title, but would you bet on him to make the top 12 of the World Championship previous to this week? I wouldn't have. Kind of surprising to me. And then again, you got Bill O'Neill, cream of the crop, 12th. Right outside of that, you got James Blomgren, right? Relatively unknown in terms of the professional bowling scene here in the States. And he's in the running and he's competing. So that's a surprise as well. So which headline are you more with there, Rob?
What was the first one?
The cream rises to the top, or the surprising names that we see in the top 12?
For me, it's the surprising names. Guys
Okay.
like, I would have loved to have got odds on Nathan Bohr making the
Oh
top
man.
12 World Championship, right? And look, I know Nathan Bohr. I'm friends with him. We both college against each other. I have a real way back history. He's a really nicest kid, Nathan Bohr. I can't say a bad thing about the kid. He's been on tour. He's a veteran. He is. He just never really had the success coming out of like college that Sean Rash did, who came out of Wichita too. But Bohr is a Wichita kid. He's a great kid. He's a great bowler. He's just never had that like professional success. But it is a surprise to see him. It's a surprise to see BJ Moore. I'm not surprised to see Packy, right? I think Packy's like Santu. I think that's the next generation, right?
Okay.
I'm more surprised on seeing some of the top names not in the top 12 too. Guys like Kyle Troop.
Mm.
I mean, you could just look at the list here and see like, okay, Kyle Troop is a really, I would expect him. Prather, right? Dom Barrett, Frankie Lavoie, right? Like, just guys like that. Like you think like, holy crap, like they're, you know, I thought maybe Sterner would have had a better run. Rash, I even had a great tournament coming off Amazing Masters. So it just shows you the bowling. Really, in my opinion, the really bowling center. It does have a lot the lane surface and how they, they it affects a lot of what's going on with these patterns. And if you are able to match up in this bowling center, you do have eventual sometimes people that you wouldn't expect to make it actually bowl good.
No doubt. All right, Rob. I think that's enough World Series coverage for now. Obviously, we'll be back next week with a wrap up of whatever shows have taken place, and we'll kind of catch up on the action as we go along here throughout the next week or so, week plus. Obviously, we talked bets and we got some bets in for those shows next week. So we'll follow up on those on Twitter as well. But it is Thursday night, Rob. And we did a worst of the week on Sunday, but we're going to give the people what they want because this is what they come here for. All right.
So I'm gonna go first because mine isn't really a specific worst of the week, but it's a generic behavior that I see online for a lot of the bowling ball group channels, the whatever, right? And I'm kind of curious to why people do this specific behavior. So, what is the point of someone taking a picture of the 6 balls or 9 balls that they're bringing to a tournament? And what is the point of them being like going to this tournament or bowling league tonight? can't wait to bring my arsenal, and then they will put a picture of their balls in their bags and show everybody. Now, are they trying to brag to tell people that this is all the bowling balls that I have and these are all my new balls that I drilled? Like, what is the reason? And I'm really asking that because the only time like I would do that is if I was practicing and I was a patch pirate and I was on staff and I was just, I guess, trying to show people that I have new balls. And I still don't know why I would do it. And I'm just kind of curious what goes on in people's heads when they're doing that.
Feel you on that, Rob.
No, I'm asking, what do you think the reason they do that for? Is it a humble brag? Are they bragging that they
I mean,
drilled
if you
up
ask me, I think they're trying to get a patch pirate deal. I always think they're trying to get a patch pirate deal.
But why
they're
would
showing the ball, showing what they're throwing?
But why would a bowling ball company give a patch pirate deal to someone who's already buying all of their shit?
Fair point. I don't know. You'd have to ask some of these companies, but I mean, a lot of times that's how it works. I've even seen posts by people where they put up a pic like you're talking about, and then they allude to how they want a staff deal or how they applied to be on staff. So I can't explain the behavior of these wackos, Rob.
If I was a bowling ball rep or work for a bowling ball company, which I almost did a few times, and I saw a post where someone posted like 8 motive balls, and they were like, "Hey, look, where's my staff deal?" And I'd be thinking, why the hell would I give up those sales? You know what I mean? Like, why am I going to give this guy free balls? Like, no, keep buying my shit. I'm happy. So I don't know.
All right, my worst of the week comes from the Motive Bowling Facebook page.
Okay.
I got to tell you, this is actually worth looking it up. Rob, if you could bring it up on Facebook real quick and
sure.
and look this up. It's on Motive Bowling's Facebook page. It's a post by Logan Hayes. Logan Hayes, congratulations, Logan. You won worst of the week. So I have to describe the picture here. The picture is of a number of bowling certificates. Okay, there's numerous certificates laying on a rug, and then there's also seven. Oh, you got it? Okay, bring it up. Bring this up. Bring this up. You'll understand why I'm giving it works of the week when I bring it up. Bring it up. I'm gonna read the post, okay? And Rob will bring up the picture. Logan says, "It's crazy. I was going through my box of bowling stuff and found all of this. Have used Motive since I started bowling." Okay, so you see all the trophies there. You see all the certificates and whatnot. Okay. Obvious, kind of patch piratist post here. I'm not even criticizing for that. The reason I'm giving this worst of the week is because my man posted this picture up, put up a brag post about bowling awards and certificates and using Motive to win all these awards. Rob, scroll down in that picture a little bit, okay? Scroll down in that picture a little bit, okay? But my man forgot to take out his dog's piss pad, okay? Bro. Logan, you got a dirty piss pad in the picture of your awards, bro. It's disgusting. No one wants to see the pad that your dog pissed all over and wiped his ass on. No one wants to see that, bro. It's gross. It's gross. Like if I came across that while I was eating lunch or dinner, I'd be quite offended at that. Word to everyone here. If you're gonna send out a bowling picture online, let's make sure that the picture is tidied up. All right. Let's make sure we don't have any embarrassing stuff in the background of the picture.
Oh, dude,
okay?
I'm trying to zoom in on this.
Like pee pads, dog pee pads. It's gross. It's gross anyway that someone would let a dog use a pee pad in their house. I'm sorry if I offend anybody with that, but take the damn dog out. You're gonna let the dog pee all over the pad and the house don't smell like dog pee? I don't know about that. Ugh. Sorry, man. I had to give that worst of the week.
That's amazing.
I saw that and screenshotted that right away.
That's great.
Oh, Lumberflexual with a fair point. No guarantee it's a dog. Maybe Penny is his roommate. And Penny uses the pee and poo pad. I love it.
If it was Penny, though, it wouldn't be a number 1 on that pad. It'd be a number 2.
Oh, my God. James Schiffler in the chat with a comment saying the piss pad is the only useful thing in the post. Oh, James, don't
That's
be
that's
don't be
that's
so
best of
cruel,
the.
James.
That comment is best of the week in our
Don't be
chat.
so cruel, James. Come
That's
on.
amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I love
Uh,
that. That's
I
hilarious.
had to give it. I had to give it. I had to give that worst of the week. I'm sorry. Not only because it was patch piratish, but mostly because of the P-pad. Sorry.
Yeah. Now people are making motive jokes. He wasn't motivated.
To clean it up. Yeah, I
Kevin
got you.
Herbert. Yeah, Hebert. That's a good comment.
Yeah. All
Oh
right, wrap
man.
it up, Rob. I mean, final thoughts obvious here, right? It's more World Series.
I know. I'm gonna be sad that I'm not gonna be able to watch most of the 10 games tomorrow because I have to work.
Mm,
Today was a great day for me because I get to work from home on
mm,
Thursdays, so I get to
mm.
have it on my screen um, while I'm working, which is amazing.
That's amazing. That is amazing. That's a great day.
It gets me through my day.
Oh, it's a great day. It's a great day. I can never do that at work, but
Oh,
that's okay.
the yeah, as a teacher, I mean, that's the problem. See, corporate America, I see people in my office, they're watching baseball games. We have the Masters on. I mean, you're
Oh,
there.
let me be clear. Like, if I wanted to, I could. I mean,
Could you imagine?
listen, there's a lot of teachers out there. I mean, I know teachers that when the World Cup comes on, that's what they do. They show it in their class and say, "Oh, well, it's a world event. It's a current event," and they watch the World Cup games. I mean, it's ridiculous what goes on in public schools. So don't even get me started on that. So if I wanted to, I could, but I actually like to teach. I like the grind of teaching, of doing work. I feel like it makes the day go by faster. If I just assign work to the kids and say, "Here, do this crossword puzzle, do this color by number thing," I feel like the day goes so much slower, even if I'm watching bowling all day. So, like I said, I like to actually get it in and get my grind on when it comes to the teaching thing. But yeah, I mean, the final thought is more World Series. I'll also throw into the final thought. Final four for NCAA women's this weekend, I believe, is taking place. So I'll probably try and keep an eye on that too. I'd like to watch some of that. That's going to be some good competition. I believe you're going to have a good Vanderbilt team in some in some shape, form, or fashion, matching up against Jillian Martin and Nebraska.
Mm.
So that's something I definitely want to see.
Yeah. Oh, I love college. I love myself some college bowling, and the women are hype too.
No doubt.
The women are hype, and there's some good, really good, women college bowlers right now too.
True. I'm headed to the training center Saturday.
Ooh, good luck. Oh, the back. What
When
about the back?
Okay, I'm headed to the training center Saturday with my boy GQ. We went 2 weeks ago. He loved it so much he wanted to go back again, and he's bowling in a tournament in a couple weeks called the Dutchman. If any of you East Coasters are familiar
I've
with
heard of
it,
it.
yeah,
I've heard of it.
it's referred to as the Bologna tournament. If you
Ah,
throw a certain amount of strikes in a row, I believe they give you a free bologna. And he got the patterns for the tournament. Like they released the patterns, and
oh,
he
he
was
wants to
able
go.
to get
Oh,
them. And yeah, I told him, listen, if you want to go to the training center and practice on these exact patterns, I can probably give you a decent idea of what you should be doing out there. They don't look like the hardest patterns in the world. They're not exactly house patterns, but I think they were like 7-1 and 6-1 were the two patterns, so not too bad. So yeah, we're gonna go on Saturday, and we have those two patterns getting put out. And I might not bowl all that much. I'll throw a few shots here and there, maybe, but I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. But yeah, he definitely wants to get a good practice in, get some different ball work in, and try and get lined up for this tournament. He's going to go bowl, so we're going to go do that too. Rob, have a good weekend. We'll all be checking out the action this weekend. Check us on Twitter. He's at Brooklyn Rob 11. I'm at the 215. That's where we're most active. We're usually chopping it up over the shows. We got USA versus the world this weekend. So we'll be checking that out and chopping it up on Twitter about that action. So we appreciate everybody joining us, as always, in the chat. If you guys want to get in touch with us, we love getting emails. We love hearing from the people out there. Sweeptherack@gmail. Please don't hesitate to hit us up. I also want to give a shout, because it's been a while since we gave a shout to this person, and they really treated us well in our relationship with them thus far. And that's Lindy's Bags. Lindy's rosin bags. We still have worst of the week rosin bags if anybody wants them. But if you need rosin bags, particularly if you're looking for rosin bags for a particular event, maybe a business, maybe a league, a high school team, something like that, hit up our guy on Facebook at Lindy's Bags. I gotta say, it's the best quality rosin bag I've ever gotten. And I'm not just saying that because it's our rosin bag. It's literally the best rosin bag I've ever had.
Yeah, you know how many times I've thrown that thing on a chair or a wall and it hasn't broke yet?
Yeah, and it's just it's great. It works.
It feels
and
great.
It does.
Heavy.
It feels good in your hand. It's heavy.
The sand never leaves it. It's always in there.
Yep, no
Trust
holes
me.
in them or anything.
No.
So I did want to give a shout to Lindy's Bags. It's been a while since we shouted them out. So
Email us, Venmo, QuickPay, Zelle, whatever, all of it. $15.
we'll get one right out to you.
Yeah, as long as you live in the U.S. Don't expect me to ship that shit to England for $5.
Yeah, we don't even make any money on them because of the shipping. So please don't ask us to ship them international.
To fucking Germany.
We'll be losing money. But
yeah, and dog piss absorbent.
You could use the rosin bags as a pee pad. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway,
yo,
right,
guys,
people.
Have a great week. We'll update you on whether we're coming on Sunday or not. And if we're not on Sunday, I would imagine, Rob, we'll definitely be back by next Thursday.
Yeah, we'll talk. Later.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big